So, Miss Catherine, it is September the 21st, 2023. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I just realized, though, why you said the 24th earlier is because you must have been adding 1 and the 3. You were like, 21 plus 23 equals 24, even though that's not correct math, but it made sense in my head.
Okay, there you go.
Well, I'm doing pretty good. Um, Totally twisted and sprained my ankle over the weekend, which was absolutely horrible, but the coloring of these bruises are really impressive. Like, very, very impressive. I have a boot. I wear a little boot now. My coworker brought it in for me because she ripped the tendons in her ankle and had to wear a boot. So she was like,
Ow.
yeah. So she's like, oh, I have one. So she brought it for me. And then she brought me crutches too, because I've been going for like 4 days without crutches, which the emergency room had tested me and they're like, you can walk, you'll be fine. Just try to stay off of it. So I was trying out crutches yesterday. I almost fell flat on my face and almost twisted the other ankle. So I handed the crutches back to her and I was like, no, that's probably a good idea if I don't use them. So I'm
That
using.
sounds like,
Yeah, it sounds like me. I'm using the boot now instead.
yeah, we love you, Jar Jar Binks. Yes, you so clumsy.
That's so clumsy, JJ Binks.
Yes. So, well, I have not managed to sprain any ankles or break my wrists or anything silly like that. So I'm doing well. I am contemplating my announcements. So,
Ah, are they good announcements?
they are for me.
Okay. Well, while
I
you
guess we'll I guess
contemplate
we'll
them, do you want me to continue?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, one big announcement that I'm going to say for you anyway is hi,
Hi,
Khalid.
Khalid.
My cat wanted to tell everybody the news, but VE is going to come see me because we are doing a workshop together and I am super excited about it. And one of our other dear friends, Kim Lark, who was on our show before, will also be joining us. So it's super, super duper exciting that I get to meet Kim in person.
And I get to see Miss Catherine again. So we've met in Cleveland at the 3-story method editor certification. But since she lives in New York and I live in Texas, we don't get to see each other in person very often. So I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try, do not promise, but we're going to try and record a podcast episode while I'm in New York. So that should be fun. My big announcements run to becoming a Fictionary certified story coach.
Woohoo!
So I'm working on that as we speak. Yeah. It's a developmental edit kind of certification. Part of the certification is that you actually do a developmental edit on a manuscript that they provide that has some known problems in it. It is designed to have problems that you can find. So it's really helpful. It's a good exercise, and I've made my way through sort of my first pass of the manuscript, and yes, it's got some problems, and I have some comments. So I'm going to try and put those into the Fictionary software, and I'm going to write them up in the Fictionary format, and use those tools to help the author get their manuscript straight. It's really a lot of fun, and it's a helpful exercise for me to learn how to do it the Fictionary way, which in turn will make me a better developmental editor, no matter which method I use or where the client comes from or what kind of service the client is asking for. So I'm really looking forward to that.
That's awesome. I'm sorry, they're
I hope
mowing
that that'll be
outside my
done.
window right now. So, and planes just keep flying by. So, like, if I'm quiet over here, it's literally they have picked this time to mow outside.
Well, that's okay. We still love you. I I am also getting my things in a row, getting my ducks in a row to pack my bags and move to Australia.
Woo!
I'm excited about it. I am looking forward to a new place and a new job and a new, country, a new situation. So it should be fun. Um, I've got a lot of work to do here in the United States before I make that happen. I've got a condo to sell. So if anybody wants a condo in Fort Worth, Texas, let me know. Um, and I've got, an entire home full of things that need to be emptied out because I'm not going to take most of my home with me. You have to ship it overseas, and it's very, very expensive to ship it, and it takes a long time. You have to ship stuff by boat, and
What?
even shipping by boat
Shipping by boat?
yeah,
You have to ship it on a ship? Sorry.
on a ship. Yeah. As opposed to a plane, which is even more expensive. So, some of my stuff that needs to be there immediately will go on a plane. Some of it will go by boat. But, a one-bedroom apartment going by boat can be $3,000 to $5,000 depending on the weight of stuff that you're taking. So it's very, very expensive. So I want to not spend a lot of money. So some of what we're going to do is just give away or throw away or sell a lot of things in my home, and then I'll rebuy them. Things like desks and chairs and stuff like that, I don't need to carry with me. I don't have any sentimental attachment to my office chair. So I can just buy another one when I get there.
Nice.
So, but the time frame for that is looking to be maybe January, March, April, something like January, February, March, something like that. That's still flexible, and we're going to see where it all goes. But that's the plan for now.
Woo! And, it's legal to have tiny houses, just as a heads up, in case. I mean, like, you could build one here in the States and probably ship it, and you'd have everything in the house when it got there.
Yeah, but it would cost me as much to build the house and ship it as it would to just buy one while I'm there. So I'll just
True.
buy one there and not have to hassle with shipping it, and then hook it up to the plumbing. And because even if I were to do a tiny house, which I'm not going to do, I would still like to have things like a toilet.
You do realize they do have toilets, right? Most tiny houses. It's just the type of toilet you have. You can have a regular toilet. You can have a composting toilet. You can have a separating composting toilet. You could even have an incinerator toilet. Those ones are kind of cool.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for a standard plumbing flush toilet. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, but no, the real plan is that I may rent for a year or two, while I get my visa straightened out, and then buy once I have the residence visa.
That's awesome. Good for you. Means that, you'll be writing from upside down, and when I come see you, we can stand on the bottom of the world, which will be the top of the world for you.
Yes, I'm looking forward to inviting you and bringing you over. Because it was a fun trip. I went a few weeks ago, and I spent 2 weeks in Australia, sort of checking things out and seeing what there was to see up in the Brisbane area. We got the obligatory pictures of me petting and feeding the kangaroos. We got the obligatory picture of me holding the koala. And I also got a picture of myself in front of the Sydney Opera House. So we did all the touristy things that there were to do. While I was there, we spent some time just relaxing. And so I really, really enjoyed it. It was nice coming back refreshed and ready to go again.
Yeah. Good for you. And maybe our next workshop will be in on Australia. That would be cool.
That would be cool. We can do 2 Americans telling the Australians how to write. That'd be awesome. They love that.
I mean, writing communities, they're big everywhere.
They are big everywhere. And I'm looking forward to joining some in Australia as well.
Ah, that means you get to start NaNoWriMo before I do.
Yeah, but it ends earlier too.
That's true.
Anyway, those are my big items for the week.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm still working on my workbook because that's honestly where you have the workshop coming up really soon. So the workbook is my big thing. I actually have a conversation today with the cafe because it's at it. Right. The workshop I am doing is how to pants your novel with the help of D&D. aka Dungeons and Dragons, for those of you who are not nerdy geeks like me. So, with that, I am going to a D&D cafe, and we are hosting the workshop there in October. So, it's good amount of time for that Preptober for people who, want to start feeling out what their book is, especially for us pantsers, because, we don't know what we're writing until the day of it. So yeah, so I've really got to just finish up this workbook and I will be all set and I can get back into Scandal's pen because I'm going to do a proof read of a section because I have 2 sets of the book out right now. I have the one that goes all the way from chapter 1 all the way through, and one that starts at chapter 14 and goes through. So I'm seeing for my betas which version makes sense. If it makes sense from 14 on, then yes, I do get to cut those 13 chapters. But if they're super confused going in, I know I need to have other stuff. That's where I'm at, just waiting on some beta feedback.
And since I'm going to go to the session that you're doing, I'm apparently going to put together a small presentation, and it's not going to be even an hour. I don't want anything that long unless they have questions, but we'll see what that presentation is. It's going to be something along the lines of getting ready for your editor, which when you start getting ready for your editor, when you're writing your novel the first time, you can save yourself a lot of trouble and a lot of work and a lot of mistakes. And you can make life way easier for your editor than sometimes even they know they want. So, having been through this several times with clients, I know things that help me as an editor. And sometimes editors don't even realize that these things would be helpful. So,
Nice. I look
I'm going
forward
to
to
put that
seeing.
together I'm going to go put that together as a presentation and we'll see what happens.
Nice. Well, I think that's it for us.
I think that's basically it for us. Yep. So we will see everybody in 2 weeks with the next episode and whenever we do the next personal update.
Stay magical.
Bye.